All right, good day, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you, the moderator, for giving me the time and place to explain our material today. So I don't have longer to introduce myself because moderator already introduced me. So let's get jump to the topic about children literature. Uh, More specific, a genre of children literature that is fiction. So first of all, what is children literature? Children literature, it is the term of children literature is a evoke image of baby books, predictable plot, and basic illustration. So the children can easily understand what they're reading and what they're trying to imagine because it is filled with basic illustration. And also it is connect children's literature with the artless, pointless story in classroom for basic reader. So because like I said earlier, because so the children can easily understand what they're reading because they're a bustle reader. And the ones with contrived vocabulary built around specific reading level or the purified stories stripped of real life in order to pass the scrutiny set of textbook selection committees and school boards. Uh, yeah, it is important to for children literature to pass the scrutiny text set of textbook because uh, it can be the sensitive content can be filled within the children literature, so it has to pass the scrutiny of textbook selection. And children literature can train children also to use their imagination when they read or watch the literary works, uh, and also to absorb the lessons that contain in the literary works that they consume. And that is why the works have to pass the scrutiny test of stat textbook selection and committees and school boards. And next one is, what is fiction genre? Uh, Fiction genre is anything imagined or invent is described as fiction. So the press is most commonly applied to creative works produced in prose or ordinary language that don't follow a matter, such as poetry. And meanwhile, nonfiction, it is something revert to works that are based on real life event, person, and facts. It is filled with facts when talk about nonfiction, while fiction might include written works, play, and film. Next is about the example. So we got a book, The Little Prince. It is a good example for the fiction of children literature. So, My Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, published in the year of 1943. The story itself talk about an honest and lovely story that is suit for children, and it is about loneliness, friendship, sadness, and love. The story of My Little Prince, it is include a fiction genre because all of the story it is based from the author imagination. And My Little Prince can be considered as children literature because the story itself is a fiction and the character is described as a little boy is filled with so much curiosity and have a jolly nature and also friendly to everyone he met. So talk about the story. It is the character, the prince, is a small boy from a small planet, or we can say an asteroid, who explore from planet to planet in search of understanding. On his adventure, he realized the unpredictability of grown-ups. Even though a lot of background in this story taken in from the other planet to other planet, The fiction genre like this called speculative fiction. It is the type of story that is set in a world that is different from the one we live in. Yeah, or that deals with magical or imagined future events. Eventually, in the end of the story, the background itself taken place in Earth, which is the planet we live in. Talk about the character. The character itself represent the children because his curiosity. Uh, always want to know everything, every act that the adult does. Once he asks a question, the question has to be answered because if it's not, he will ask one more time, over and over again. This illustrates that the little prince, the main character, has a high curiosity, which is a very descriptive of children. Uh, Also, My Little Prince is a children's literature filled with emotional intensity and sad themes. Uh, it is a dark, of course, it is dark, including reference to suicide. And yeah, like I said earlier, it is background of story is unique. The background story of Little Prince itself, taken our planet to other planet. The fiction like this is called, yeah, speculative event, like I said earlier. So talk about the age range. Age range itself, something that really fit with children, something that really fit for specific age. Uh, so My Little Prince itself is fit with children that is age of 9 to 12 years. I think that's all. I want to conclude that children literature is a literary works that fill with more joy, and the story itself have to be easy to understand by the children and not too complex for children to think about the story. And it makes the children easy to uh, understand the meaning. And also, fiction itself can train the children to imagine, to train their imagination to think about how they see the world. And I think that's all for my presentation or my explanation about genre fiction in children literature. And the example itself, it is a My Little Prince from the Saint-Exupéry, Antoine Saint-Exupéry. I think that's all for me. I give it back to the moderator. Thank you for the time.